Hi, welcome back. I was going through my older videos a few days ago and I stumbled upon one of my highest viewed videos on my channel. This video really elevated my channel and I gained a lot of subscribers just from this singular video, but it was entitled like the easiest way to do a smoky eye. And I posted this 4 to 5 years ago. And what I thought was really interesting is that even within this short period of time, there's such a difference in what is now like trendy for a smoky eye compared to the video I posted just 4 years ago. And so I thought it would be fun to do like an elevated 2.0 version of that video. And although I kept things really simple in that video, I'm going to make it even more simple in today's video. And I really wanted to target those of you who feel like you have an imperfect eye shape. I've always felt like I have really small lid space to work with. And I do have slightly hooded eyes. And so a lot of the times when I'm watching, let's say like Hindash is one of my favorite makeup artists. When I see the models he's using, you know, they have like this beautiful, large, elongated eye shape. And I feel like there's so much space to work with. And I don't have that. So I've had to, you know, find techniques and ways that I'm able to tweak my kind of smokier looks to better fit my eye shape. And so I'm going to take you through really quick, simple, easy production, if you will, of how I go about creating. This can be for daytime wear. I'm going to do like a lighter version and show you how you can elevate it. I'm literally using 2 eyeshadows and 1 brush. So let's go ahead and get into it. So you know I had to do it. We're going to be using Caviar Sticks today, cream eyeshadows, simply because I just think that they are easier to manipulate or work with. If you're more comfortable with powder shadows, then you can definitely still do this technique. It's just going to be slightly different, obviously, because creams, they shear out a little bit. They're easier to manipulate, in my opinion. Or again, if you like powders, you could go back to the video I posted 4 years ago and just kind of tweak it to what I'm talking about now. So I'm going to be using, actually this is, Laura Mercier reformulated some of their matte colors. So I'm going to be using a new one. It's called Cafe Noir, and it's this lovely, just kind of mid-tone chocolate cream eyeshadow. Then to accommodate that cream shadow, I'm just going to be using a bronze liner. This one is also from Laura Mercier and it is called Bronze. Let's talk about colors really quickly. If you are fair to a medium skin tone, I really think using more of a deeper, rich brown or a chocolate tone on the eyes is going to be more wearable. It's not going to weigh down your eyes, especially if you have a smaller lid space to work with. However, if you are tan plus and you're in the deep or dark range of your skin tone, a nice like dark eggplant, and obviously black, those are going to be perfectly fine if you do have a deeper complexion. I'm going to get a little bit closer so you can see in detail what I'm talking about. I'm using one singular brush here. This does not have to be super specific. I think I mentioned this in the last video I did. Just make sure it's not too fluffy, but also not too dense. This one is from the Sephora collection. Honestly, it's kind of like a no-name brush, but you can see it is a little bit fluffier here at the tip. But then when I turn around, there is some precision happening here. So you want a little bit of control, but you also want to be able to blend. You want that diffusion. I'll list some recommendations down below and I'll try to link this if they still make it. So I'm going to start out with Cafe Noir and my Laura Mercier cream shadow stick. You can use any cream shadow stick that you want. If you do want to check out some more affordable options compared to Laura Mercier, I'll also link those down below. But off the top of my head, I know ColourPop makes some cream eyeshadow sticks. I don't know what the varying ranges are in like the browns and the deeper like blacks or charcoals, but I have used those in the past and I find that they have pretty decent lasting power. So the first thing I'm going to do is pretty much trace along my lash line. And if you watch my videos, you know this is how I apply every single shadow. And I think a big mistake or big misconception that a lot of people have when using or trying to create the smoky eye look is that you need to apply all over the lid. That's really not the case, especially if you have mature lids, if you have lids that are hooded. You really want to start out with this liner style and then just softly start to diffuse into the lid. So basically I get it pushed into my lower lash line right here, and then I kind of start to work my way up. That way you have a little bit more control. You're not applying a ton of product all at once, and you kind of elevate it from there. So depending on your skin tone, honestly, for some people, like this could be considered a smoky look. So what I like to do after I've diffused out is I go in generally with a second layer, especially if I want this to be a deeper eye look. And I continue that motion where I just pat into my lash line. I want all of the darkness and depth to almost be in this first like fourth of my lid, almost the richness just coming from my lash line. And you can already tell what a difference that makes, but it really allows the drama to stay on the lower portion of your lid and not come up too high and look, you know, like traditional, what someone might refer to as like raccoon eyes. It's really just going to eliminate the risk of overdoing this, of applying too much product. So I will go ahead and say, because I know some of you are going to be curious with this new Laura Mercier formula, this is drying a lot quicker than the original matte Laura Mercier cream eyeshadows did. I'm getting a good amount of time to work with the product, but it is drying a lot faster. I can't manipulate as quickly as I could before. So just keep that in mind if you want to go off the specific color that I'm using right now. I mean, I think it's easy. Like it looks super smooth. It's not too stiff, but it is definitely not as flexible in the amount of time that you can work with it. Okay, I'm just going to repeat on this side. So we're going to do almost again that liner fashion. I don't really take it all the way into my lid. I kind of just diffuse it inward. And a lot of this does come with diffusion and learning just use small amounts of product and tap rather than sweep all over the lid. So you can see that's one layer. We're going to go in with a second to match up with the other eye. And again, I'm just pushing most of the darkness into the lash line, and then whatever's left, I start to kind of drag. And for my specific eye shape, I do elongate outwards a little bit just to give the appearance of a slightly larger eye. If I try to round, it's just not the right shape for my particular eye. If you have more rounded eyes, that could work to do the traditional, you know, like half moon circle. But with my eye shape, I find that doing almost the slight elongation here really helps with giving the appearance of a larger eye. So if you find that you have smaller lids or you find that darker colors can just overwhelm you, you definitely want to be careful with the lower lash line here. So what I'm going to do is just pick up the softest amount of product on the back of the tip of my brush here, and I'm just going to use that to add to my lower lash line, because you don't want your lower lash line to be completely bare. I mean, honestly, let's be real, that wouldn't be a smoky eye if you didn't have something going on underneath here. So I just take the smallest amount of product and I just press, and again, it's all about that diffusion, just slightly and softly diffusing into that lower lash line. And again, you can see the difference here. That just gives this soft, complete appearance. Compared to this side, we don't have anything over here. Just makes that soft, subtle difference. I'm gonna do one more layer. This eye is more hooded than this eye, so I do find that I have to put sometimes just a little bit extra on this one to make it look even. Okay, so if you're going for more of a natural smoky look or more of a daytime appropriate, this is where I would stop, add my mascara, and that would pretty much be it. We have this nice, just like, I know latte makeup is trending right now, just this really smooth, almost like coffee brown lid. There's slight drama happening, but it's not overwhelming. But I am going to bump it up a little bit. I'm just going to take this bronze liner. Now you could actually just use the same cream eyeshadow stick and just keep layering it and you would get a similar effect. I'm just going to use this bronze color because it has a little bit of color variation. So it's going to add, you know, it's literally just going to add some color variation. So I'm just going to drag that along my lash line here. So I do slightly bring the liner out, like just a smidge, and then I bring it back in. I softly start blending it back in. It's really gonna make a huge difference if you focus on your lash line rather than focusing on your crease. I feel like for the longest time, people wanted to focus on the depth in their crease. And for those of us who have smaller lid space, it's just too much. Once you get to that crease space, you've kind of like, you've hit the threshold of going overboard and just having too much darkness at the center point of your eye. So focusing all the darkness in the lash line, it just gives this really nice sultry look. And so you can see just by adding that singular liner, it bumps up the look a little bit. We're darker from this eye. We have more thickness in the lash line, and we haven't even put on mascara yet. So this is just a way that you can slightly elevate things, make things a little bit darker, a little bit more nighttime appropriate. I don't really like to darken up the lower lash line too much, but I will take whatever excess is left and just sweep underneath. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this intensity right now. For me, for my skin tone, for just like the time of year, you know, we're a little bit lightweight in the summertime. This would be a smoky eye for me and what I feel is on trend currently. Of course, if you have a deeper complexion than me, you can elevate this, you can take it up. But the main point I want you to take away from this, especially if you've always struggled with creating a look like this, is to focus the darkness and the drama into the lash line and that first, you know, third of your eyelid, just almost in this mobile part. Like I said, I feel like a lot of the times people get caught up on the crease being smooth or the crease having drama, especially hooded lids. By the time you get to that point, you've went overboard. I'm gonna pop on my mascara because it will add a little bit more drama. Okay, I'm done. But as I mentioned, elevate to your preference, just using those very similar techniques, layering, applying in small amounts, and bringing it up as a diffusion process with your leftover product. I think a big thing and a big intimidation with the smoky eye is that a lot of people just go in with a lot of product and then just go to town. Perfectly fine if you have the lid space to do that. Us folks who don't, you know, we got to find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I think that this is one of the easiest ways to build and gradually get a nice polished smoky look. So I hope this made sense. I hope it helped. And yeah, okay, Laura Mercier, she's getting a little tight, a little bit less smudgy on this new matte formula. I don't know if the other ones have been reformulated, but I do think there was a solid reformulation in the matte colors, and they definitely, don't stay as smudgy for long. They are setting. So that will be a benefit to those of you who felt like you couldn't get the caviar sticks to last on your lids, because there's definitely more grip happening here. So that's a brief little opinion on those. Yeah, if you want to go back and refer to my older video, it is definitely a little bit more dramatic. We work with some shimmers, but this in present day, I feel, is the trendy modern smoky eye. We're working with more mattes. We're a little bit more monotoned here. And it's just a little bit messier. And what I love about that is I used to watch Pixie Woo all the time. And I remember Samantha Chapman used to always say, like, don't make it perfect. Don't make it perfect. Smudgy is cool. It's edgy. It just gives that undone, like, cool girl vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm going for here. It's not super perfect, but we have a little bit of drama happening. And this is what I would describe as like current day smoky eye. So I hope this helped you out. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye.